Hello everyone, welcome to Fuel and Drive, and today we're going to be looking at the 2018 Audi Q3. The Audi Q3 is actually Audi's entry into the ultra-competitive luxury subcompact class. In this video I'm going to share some of my likes and dislikes about this car, as well as give some insight as to how it relates to some of the other vehicles within this class. So when looking at the exterior of the car, you're initially introduced with these beautiful xenon headlights with the daytime running lights integrated within them, as well as Audi's signature single frame grille design with Audi's symbol prominently displayed on top. Now, if you wanted to actually get the full LED lights, you would actually have to go up in trim. So the key fob for this vehicle incorporates a lot of the expected features, that being lock, unlock, as well as trunk release. On the top here, you have the key blade. And on the side here, which is actually one of my favorite features of the key overall, is the panic button. So the premium trim does not include a keyless entry. So when looking at the interior of this car, you're kind of introduced with this really standard sort of setup. That being, you have a lot of the buttons in the place that you would expect them to be. So on the left here you have the one-touch up and down window controls for all 4 windows, and then also on the side here you have the vent lock settings, as well as on the bottom here you do have as well as the external headlight controls, as well as the instrument cluster lighting controls. And then here you also have the instrument cluster, which has a digital display on the center, really well integrated, and then the Audi's symbol kind of prominently displayed on the steering wheel. So here is the infotainment system control center, as well as the 7-inch infotainment system display. The steering wheel has pretty good feel and is lined with a soft touch material. So from here you can access the digital display and change it to display your fuel efficiency as well as a digital reading of your speed. So this here is a 7-inch screen. And on the center portion here, you can actually access a lot of the tools and the controls that will help you navigate through the infotainment system. So the center knob can actually go up and down between different categories, and each of these little buttons on the side of the center knob can actually help you to go in between different sections within the infotainment system. Unfortunately, this particular system does not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is available as options by its competitors. So here we have the dual air control settings, and on the bottom here, one of my favorite features is this knob here, which adjusts the temperature or the thermostat. So here you can also access the heating controls for the driver as well as the passenger seats. As we kind of make our way back, we also have access to the electronic parking brake system as well as a 12-volt outlet. On the back here you have this really nice and well integrated USB charging port. Armrest is pretty neat. You can actually extend and retract the armrest to adjust the size based upon your needs. And within the armrest section, you do have quite a bit of space to store items within. So this car also incorporates a really beautiful panoramic sunroof. With the seats up, you get about 16 cubic feet of space, and with the seats down, this expands to about 50 cubic feet of space. This trails the BMW X1, which has about 60 cubic feet of space. So when reversing the car, you actually also have a lot of cool assistance features. You have trajectory as well as distance markers. And lastly, you actually do have this sort of warning system that will kind of let you know as to whether or not you're getting too close to items. So a couple of things that kind of initially stand out, especially when driving this car, is the level of... With that being said, the car isn't particularly fast or agile. The 0 to 60 time estimated is about 8.4 seconds, and this kind of trails upon a lot of the other cars within the class. such as the BMW X1, which has a 0 to 60 time of about 6.6 seconds, and the Mercedes GL250, which has a 0 to 60 time of about 7.2 seconds. So on my trip, I was averaging about 24 miles per gallon using premium fuel. So the car is estimated about 25-26 combined, which actually trails upon a lot of the other cars within the class. The Mercedes as well as the BMW are averaging more closer to 29 miles per gallon. So this car actually has a couple different driving modes in which you can select from. Right now I'm actually driving within the sport mode, and one of the things that I kind of notice, especially when driving in this mode, is that the steering actually becomes a little bit heavy, the engine notes in the exhaust becomes a little more pronounced, and the acceleration becomes more responsive. In conclusion, my overall experience with this car was good, with some of my favorite features being the external design, the panoramic sunroof, as well as the smoothness and refinement in the driving dynamics of the vehicle. With that being said, if you're interested in purchasing a car within this ultra-competitive street subcompact class, I would highly recommend looking at some of the competitors, such as the Mercedes GLA250, the Volvo XC40, and the BMW X1. Those are all great cars, and they're worth looking into in order to make a well-informed decision. If you're in the Orlando area, a place worth checking out is the Orlando Art Museum. The Orlando Art Museum hosts art from various parts of the world as well as various periods of time, with the most recent exhibit hosting contemporary artists from the state of Florida. If you're looking for an experience that will not only inspire, but cultivate intellectual curiosity, check out the Orlando Art Museum. I had a great time here, and I think you will too. Thank you for watching, everyone, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.